Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 143, Lamar, Sky Sharks.
Well, Joe, continuing with the B movie craze that is sharks, that just combine it with anything. We have a movie that combines sharks with flying, with Nazis. I would also say breasts too. That was another thing. In this movie, I was just like, oh, okay, well let's throw a little bit more in here. This movie, so yeah.
Well, we're gonna rate this sucker. We're gonna start with our first category, Lamar, the story.
Okay. In the simplest form, the story is about Nazis who basically hid away and found a way to make sharks fly in the sky and become like death machines while zombie Nazis rode on them. And so the movie starts off where a plane is just freaking decimated.
Yes.
By these sky sharks and the zombies that come onto the plane and just kill everybody. And then for some reason, they just skip that until the end of the movie with the exposition dump that takes, I would say, what would you say, like maybe an hour of like explaining shit.
This movie could have been about 30 to 40 minutes shorter.
Very true. Yes.
That's my problem here is with this movie is I like the story, the premise, but the execution left me just baffled because this one, like, it started off great. And this movie did well when it was going crazy, but then over a sudden it would come to like lulls.
Yeah.
And that's what frustrated me more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, see, for me, it was more like you said, it started off with a bang, then it went down, but then at the end it kind of got back up. But by the time you get to the end, you're just like, where is everything?
Every single time it started to build towards some momentum towards something, it would come back down to over a sudden like a flashback or explaining things too much.
Yes.
It was frustrating for me.
Yes, I understand that.
But what are we rating it?
I'm giving it a half a point. It had potential, and then it died down, and then it came back, but not enough to really hold me. Like you said, it should have been 30 minutes shorter.
Yeah, I'll give it a half point just because I do like the premise.
Yeah, the premise is great. The premise, it gets you because I thought, okay, we're in for a ride. Like, we're going to see a lot of crazy crap happening with these sharks flying through the sky, and then it just slows down.
Yeah, well, that leads to the next category, which is the sharks.
I might have to say these might be my favorite sharks.
Really?
Because here's the thing.
Of the ones we've reviewed?
Of all the ones that we've reviewed.
Better than the Exorcist one or whatever?
Better than that one, because these had like missiles, and the shark execution was great. Because you would have sometimes where they would like have people like fly out of like the plane, and the sharks would just eat them. People were riding on them. Anytime you can ride on an animal that you probably shouldn't be riding on in a B movie, it warms my heart. I like these sharks. They were great, and it was cheesy too. Yeah, like with the special effects that they had. So for me, I enjoyed them. I'm giving it a point. What about you, Phil?
I am giving it a half a point. The sharks were almost an afterthought to all the other crap that they were talking about a lot, and even the zombie soldiers played more of a part. So I'm gonna give it half.
Okay, all right.
Next category is the Nazis.
What you said about the zombies, for me, the Nazis kind of played a part. Because here's the thing about Nazis. Like, they got to be, the German. They got to be, up in your face and all this stuff. It's just kind of like, well, they're just Nazis. They showed, like, one picture of Hitler. They didn't talk about, like, all the crazy crap that Nazis talk about. Yeah. So not enough Nazi stuff so you can beat up the Nazis. Just like, oh, well. They just happen to be Nazi sky sharks. So for this one, half a point.
Half a point for me too. It's just like they didn't play the gimmick enough. So
right.
Next category, special effects.
I was delighted in the special effects. Not because they were so well done, but because it was something different. The way they shot it, you could tell it was green screen to death. But it was interesting green screen. I do like the backdrops that they used in certain scenes. I like how they shot in certain places, and it's damn near a cartoon. Special effects for me, I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah, I'll give it a 1 for special effects. They were fun, and that's the whole point of this. Yeah, one scene the guy like jammed a periscope through the plane and went right through a guy's head and stuff, like goofy stuff like that. Like I like it. So
it was practical too.
Yeah,
and it was great.
Well, the next category was a surprising category.
It was.
There were a number of cameos in this movie. How do we
Yes.
rate the cameos?
Well, we got to talk about it. We have the horror legend Tony Todd,
Yeah.
Candyman, Amanda Bierce
Yeah.
from Married with
Married
Children.
with Children.
You said that she's now like a successful director. So to see her again, I was like, I know that lady. She's from Married with Children. And Shang Tsung. He's in Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. He's just chilling on the plane. Like,
we got to talk about him for a second because he's the best cameo for me.
Oh, yes.
He's playing like a guy on a plane that's, like I guess an obnoxious businessman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so sure if he did a Southern cowboy accent himself or if they dubbed it in there.
I feel like the first part was dubbed.
Yeah.
And then the second part, it was him because of the audio. So if he did that, that was pretty awesome. Yeah.
It was fun to see him like in a comedy role because I can't remember seeing him in a comedy role before.
Never seen him in one. I mean, he's always gonna be Shang Tsung to me. Even if I meet him, I'm probably gonna be like, don't take my soul. But
So what are we rating it on cameos?
I would give it a 1.
I also give it a 1. They actually did some stuff. They had some good parts and stuff. And Shang Tsung, I always call him Shang Tsung.
Yeah.
But Shang Tsung gets killed in a cool way. And like he just seemed like he was having a blast.
Yep.
So yeah, the cameos were good. All right, Lamar. So we tallied up the score, 3.25 out of 5.
I'm surprised at you, Joe. I didn't think you would not like it as much as this. I thought you would at least give it a 3.
I liked all the things about it except for the execution of the overall story.
Yeah.
It dragged on with malarkey.
Cut out like 30 minutes of it, and you get right to the sky sharks, the Nazi zombies, and the breasts.
In that order, or just
you can switch it up. Do what you want. I'm not going. Yeah, but yeah, this could have been like a 5.
Yeah,
if the pacing was right.
Because the crazy scenes were fun. They were crazy and they were fun. So I just wanted that. I wanted like an hour and 20 minutes of that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Well, does that wrap this up?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Sky Sharks. Peace.
Deuces.